Yeah, I just think experience and having gone through it before, and I mean, it's not always going to be how you draw it up, and I mean, obviously, we would have loved to win last game and be sitting at home right now, but I mean, those guys over there won it all, and they're going to be, obviously playing for their lives, and the fourth win's always the hardest, so I think just, if you would have told us when we were down 2-rip to Vegas that we'd be up 3-2 against Colorado in the second round, I think we'd be pretty fired up about that. So just it's all about the opportunity tonight, and playoffs is all about, forgetting about what happened. Every game's a new opportunity.
What is that emotional experience for you, taking that hurt, that pain from not having your best performance and turning it into one of your better performances?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just confident in my ability and all the work and stuff that I put in, that if I just continue with it, that it'll go my way. And obviously, not every night is perfect, and but that's part of the game, part of the position, and no one's perfect. I mean, no one in here has played their best game every single game of this playoff, so it's just all about if you don't feel like you have your best, it's about now what are you going to do about it, and not letting it be 2 games in a row. And I mean, I feel like I did some good stuff last game, and just want to get another kick at the can, and everyone's feeling good in here about tonight.
Do you see anything in front of you on the road? I mean, the numbers just say you guys are a fantastic defensive team on the road, regular season and the playoffs. Do you see something that goes on? Is it just you guys worry about your game more and don't try and match?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like, you'd think with the matchups and stuff too, maybe it would be like the other way around. And who knows? I mean, like I've said in the past, road games are obviously fun in the environment, especially in the playoffs and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe just everyone in here likes to play the villain and shut the home crowd up. And it's kind of like interesting that it's that good. But obviously, it's a great thing to have, and we've been the best road team in the league all season and in playoffs too. So we should be feeling very confident about our game plan and what we did here a couple days ago. And, if we can do that again tonight, I think we'll be happy after the game.
How impressed have you been by the sellout of the guys in front of you blocking shots?
Yeah, it's been unreal. I mean, it's what playoffs is all about. And, it's a lot of the goals in playoffs are shots off a shin pad that hit 3 things and go in, or, get a weird bounce. So every block shot, prevents something like that from happening. And, that's just the, every guy, thinking about the team and what it means to them to win and to move on. And we've had that, and that's what you need, especially late in the games. They throw everything at the net. Those block shots, the guys making those decisions to, know that it might result in a couple ice bags or whatnot after the game, but, it feels like they don't hurt as much after a win.
Robertson's leading the way, I think, in block shots right now. Have you seen that?
I'd like to see the stats behind that. But,
it's actually pretty good.
No, I know. I heard
you in block shots.
Yeah.
Isn't the most for forwards?
You're not the most, but you're. Yeah, I think among forwards.
I believe it.
Yeah, he really is.
200-foot player. So
and he's the F1. Have you seen that a couple of times now?
I don't really pay attention to that stuff too much. So.
Jake, do you get nervous in these games, and are you less nervous than maybe you were a couple years ago?
Yeah, I mean, definitely less nervous than I used to be, but I mean, it's still nerve-wracking, and the anxiety, and but I try to look at it like the opportunity and the fun part of it. I mean, this is 10 years from now, I'm gonna be looking back, wishing I could put my pads on in this exact moment. So just leave it all on the line, trust in myself and my teammates, and have fun and leave it all out there.
We make a big deal out of the home and road thing. Do you as players feel good about going on the road and playing games?
Yeah, I mean, I think this year we've been the best road team in the league, so we're definitely comfortable. But it's also not easy, and we got to bring our best stuff.
What is it that makes you guys good on the road? Is it like we've talked about? You guys have 4 good lines, so you don't have to match; you just roll. And then is it just you worry about yourself and not worry about their game as much?
I think so. Yeah, I think like you said, we can. We're deep. Anybody can be out there against anybody, so that's a big part of it. But I think we just, we do a good job of staying focused and, dialed in on the road. And we've been great at it all year, and look to keep it up tonight.
Sam, what confidence can your group pull specifically from what you've done recently in this building?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you always want to be moving forward. You don't want to get too stuck on, games that have happened because, I know they've moved on over there, so I'm sure they're not thinking about it. But, yeah, it's nice to know that we can win in this building, but at the same time, it's a fresh slate, so that's it.
The PK has been so good lately. Last game they got a couple. What do you have to do to kind of go back to what you guys were doing before?
Yeah, I don't think it's massive adjustments or anything. It's just small little details, and I think we were just a little bit more detailed before last game, and a few of those things slipped. But yeah, I think we're still in a good spot, and we know what we have to do.
And did you sense desperation from them last game, and what does it take to match that?
Yeah, definitely. Anytime a team's up against elimination, they're going to show some desperation, and we expected it. But yeah, they played a good game, and we just, it's small margins, but I think we have better than what we showed last game.
We talked about chemistry with the fourth line. You seem to be getting some with Wyatt right now. Has that been fun?
Yeah, he's I think anybody has chemistry when they're on the ice with him. So yeah, he's doing a great job, and I feel like we're working off each other well on the PK. So it's nice.
What was it like when you got the puck on the empty net? Were you expecting it, or is it just the play happens and then you kind of look at him and?
I mean, I was expecting it, just knowing what kind of guy he is, but at the same time, I think I was yelling at him to shoot. So I'll take it, but it would have been nice to see him get the hat trick.
Game 6, how are you guys feeling?
Feeling good. Another chance to win the series, and obviously couldn't do that last game, but we know where we kind of went wrong and what adjustments we can make going into tonight.
When you think about what you guys have done in this building in this series and what you did last game with a couple of goals in here, how much confidence does that give you?
Yeah, it's big. I think every game's different, though. Yeah, obviously it's nice to find the back of the net, but every game's different, and I think it's about our start, coming out hot and just kind of steamrolling from there.
How did you feel about the response after going down 2 goals in the third last game and getting a power play after that?
Yeah, game's never over. So we've seen them come back on us. So we were trying to do the same. Just couldn't find that tying goal, obviously. But it is what it is. So they wanted it more than we did. So tonight we got to make sure that we come out hungry.
What have you seen from the team in road play? Because I think you went like 16-4 down the stretch too, which a lot of that was on the road. Is there anything in particular as far as what you guys do, either preparation or execution?
I don't think so. Doesn't really matter what building we're in. I think we just play the same way and commit to our structure, and everything can kind of take care of itself.
As you've learned about what the Stanley Cup playoffs are all about, what's been the most surprising thing so far?
I think just the intensity and the pace. Took me a few games to kind of get used to it. Obviously, the hockey's more physical too, so got to keep your head up. But it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying myself, so it's always a lot more fun when you're winning too.
Is it nice to have some of your teammates from Cedar Park up here with you now?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's nice to see them and catch up. Those guys were key pieces down there, and hopefully be my teammates someday again. So yeah, it's fun having them around.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete. Any lineup changes, injury updates?
Injury updates. Rupe Hin's out. It's still day to day. Hopeful for either next game or hopefully next series, if we can make that happen. Yeah. Other than that, same.
We're always asking. Any update on Hakanpää? Is he skating? Is he close? Is he a
He's
ways
skating.
away?
He actually traveled with us on this trip, so you didn't see him on the plane.
He's a big man.
He's a big giant guy.
But closer.
Closer. Yeah.
How important is it to get him into the group and skate with the team?
Yeah, it's important, but you're playing the guys that are available. It's everywhere this time of year. You get down to the last 8, the last 4. Very rarely do you have everyone available to you, and you can't spend a lot of energy worrying about that. It's the guys that are available and in that are the important ones tonight.
Did you see anything you liked in the lines? It had to be shuffled because of Rope last game. Did you see stuff you liked?
Yeah, I saw some things I liked. I think overall when I look at that game, I think you have to give them credit. I thought they were the more desperate team, which, I think the situation lends to that a little bit. But, we've got to flip that script tonight. We got to be a little more, we got to match that desperation level, and we got to have a little more detail to our game. I thought we played okay, but I think we've got another level we can play at.
Hey, Pete, it took a long time for you guys to have to play from behind in this series. How can that experience in the third period Wednesday serve you tonight?
Yeah. Well, what I liked was, we didn't change our game. We kept coming. I thought we put some pressure on them there. I felt, the bench we all felt like we were going to tie that game up, until probably the McKinnon goal. So, I think that's a good feeling when your group, even though they're behind, we feel that way.
Pete, we've talked about you guys had the best road record in the league this year. The road team is 4-1 in this series. Colorado's 2 road wins, and anything to make into that, or just two close teams?
Yeah, I don't know. People have asked me about that before. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that we've played any better on the road. I think we've gotten better results. I think our mindset, our preparation, our game has been in the right place at home to win, just like it has been on the road. I don't have an explanation. The margins are thin. The other night it's, they executed at the right times of the game. That goal at the end of the period on the power play. In the third when we were pushing, they got a couple chances and finished them. It comes down, to those thin margins, whether you're at home or on the road.
Just curious, at this point in the year or at this point in the series, are your meetings shorter? Is there less to say? What's your process like this morning?
Yeah.
On, I don't know, everything, power play, penalty kill, that kind of thing.
No, it's a great question. I think as a coaching staff, you try and make them shorter. They're definitely more refined in the things that we're trying to concentrate on, either doing and exposing or defending, what they do really well. You really can get into, the 2 or 3 things on each end of those things that are important, as opposed to, maybe early in this series or at the beginning of a series, you're kind of detailing their entire game. I think it's much more pinpoint focus on, as you get through a series, you start to really dial in on the 2 or 3 things that are critical to success against a certain team. And I think, that usually results in shorter meetings, as long as you feel the group's doing that. If they're not, they can go a little longer and a little louder.